All right, everybody, welcome back. Everything here is going to look maybe a little different. We accidentally ended up clearing or stuff on our stream PC basically got deleted, and that includes some of the stuff on the stream and some other things as well. So at the moment, we are working to get it rearranged, but you're gonna notice we don't have a transition at the moment, and it's just kind of fading in and out of the different scenes. So bear with us. My name's George. I'll be your host here today. We actually have a reschedule. If any of you were here a long time ago, I mean, it's probably been a month at this point. We had an NECC matchup against Purdue University in one of their teams in League of Legends, and it Riot servers were getting DDoS attacked at the time, and we weren't able to finish out that series. A help ticket was made with the NECC, and they ruled that we would have to replay game one, even though we had a pretty substantial lead. And both teams agreed to playing out game one through the disconnection issues. The NECC took away that game one win from us, so got a little bit of a punishment from Riot, and Purdue maybe a slight reward there. So the draft is going to look like this. It will be identical. Valparaiso on the blue side, Oriana in the mid lane, Jax jungle, Zeri Nami bot lane duo, and Ambessa top. Purdue will have Jarvan in the jungle, Xayah Rakan bot lane, Syndra mid, and Renekton top. None of that changes. Those were the initial characters. We'll also hop over here and look at the roster. We have the Law in the top lane, Super Bear in the jungle, Jakimbo in the mid lane, Diadem, ADC, and Yovana support. So nothing's really changed on our end here. Just we have to replay game one. As we can recall, Valparaiso had a pretty substantial lead going into that one, or when that one ended, I guess, as you could say, or was abruptly shut off on us. But that's okay. We'll win again. Just replay, same character, same people. So nothing's changing on our end. We're still very confident going into this one. But like I said, we some of the stream stuff has been deleted. We don't have a transition, but we are going to cut to be right back. They're actually already loading in, so we're just waiting for the 2 minute spectator delay to catch up on the League of Legends client, and we'll be right into this one. So don't go anywhere. About 2.5 minutes, we'll be into this one. All right, we're getting right into this one. Finally, hopefully no issues. I think we've tried to do this stream a few times here, and it's caused nothing but issues, unfortunately. Um, Both teams kind of spread out here along the river. Rakan in the bot lane all by himself. A little poke back and forth between the mid laners. It's going to be a little difficult for Syndra, I think, to get in range of Orianna. He's Rakan actually back to get a Oracle Lens, so after ward in to switch, which kind of makes sense. Maybe a possible invade. Xayah Zeri trading back and forth. They will get that ward in, but luckily with Zeri's attack speed, she can just kind of clear that right away. A little boring before you get the minions there. Finally, they are hitting in the mid wave. I think you got to see Syndra playing that very far away. I'm pretty sure early on Orianna kind of has the advantage here. Bot lane needs to be careful that they don't get pushed back too far there on the bush camp strat. They did a good job of being slightly aware coming from the top side of the minions. Zeri did kind of miss that melee minion. They're actually going all in. Rakan dives, doesn't land anything. Um, Straight back and forth. I don't really know. I would assume Xayah probably early does more damage. At level 1, I don't know if Zeri can really do the trade in. I believe what we saw in this game was a very fed, I think it was a very fed Super Bear on Zac. I mean, Jakimbo always ends up being fed at some point, you know, it's just inevitable. Um, but yeah, I also think there was maybe a moment or two where Zeri got a couple multi kills and ended up pretty online. So let's see what happens. Stun does land out Syndra there. I mean, there's back and forth trades in the top lane. Nothing too crazy with the movement abilities. New Riot champions, you know, gotta have a couple hundred dashes in there. And our bot lane duo doing a very good job of keeping up in farm. Only down 1 CS here, in theory, as long as they get this caster, which they do, which is very great. You know, something we've seen them struggle with a lot has been farming early on and not being able to keep up. Back and forth poke between the Renekton and the Ambessa. You know, that's how the top lane goes. I hope we can see a Jakimbo solo kill. That's what I want to see. A ping on the map. They are aware of Super Bear in that bot side. Both junglers here in the bottom. Here's Jarvan's grabbing the crab. Will do so. Plenty of vision actually here in the bot side, and they will be alerted to that. I'm not sure it saw Jarvan backing. Probably not. Maybe a gank opportunity here. They need to be careful though. Jarvan has not yet backed. And it looks like Super Bear is just going to move through the wave. Good bubble there onto Rakan, but unfortunately he could just dash back to his ADC and retreat on out of there. Super Bear grabbing the crab, so going to be a little down in tempo, possibly opening up an opportunity for Jarvan to gank. Super Bear actually just coming up. This bush, the pixel bush is warded, but I'm not sure Renekton is going to be able to get out of here. He's only level 4. He's going to get grabbed. He's not. He's going to flash the grab, so good gank there out of Super Bear. Going to be able to get the flash out of the top laner, leave Ambessa there to kind of farm this wave, not have to worry about Renekton staying around, and be able to maybe, I'm not sure if they're going to see a freeze here. Both bot laners backing on the side of Valpo. Actually, they choose to stay. I lied. Pretty even game state, though. I mean, literally everywhere. I'd say Jarvan is slightly ahead of Zac at the moment, just because of that gank opportunity. But they went 1-for-1 on Crab, so no advantage able to be gained. First Drake does spawn. That always reminds me. I can get the timers up for you. Someone's asking for subs. We did not hit our goal of 60, unfortunately, when this catches up for you. But We do have like 20. We have 24 at the moment, which is still awesome. We peaked at 60 or at 30. I apologize. TP in out of the top laner and the mid laner of Valpo to match that Syndra TP. A little bit of a dive here. Diadem gets knocked up under tower. We'll be able to back. We'll flash. Not going to be able to dive if you are Rakan Xayah taking that tower shot. I think Syndra's dead here. Yeah, that's going to be the ultimate. Surely can't get out of this. Doesn't have flash, doesn't have TP. Jarvan's going to be here, but I'm not sure he wants this pressure either. Gonna pull out, and Zac can just come on down and harass the bot lane and push them away. Diadem in desperate need of a back, though. You need to be very, very careful here. I think it's in their best interest to leave. Farm that off. Get out of there, because Xayah is low, but she has flash, and Rakan has flash and ignite. They're gonna dive. Good knockup out of Rakan. Or out of Zac there, but he's gonna fall. I don't think he's gonna get this respawn off. Yeah. Just not enough damage there. Flash comes in out of Rakan, though, and it will miss. So, trades back and forth, 1-for-1, essentially. Unfortunately, that elimination did go on to Xayah, and Zeri has kind of fallen behind in CS here. Renekton TPing back to the top lane. Everything else pretty even. The bot lane duo is a little behind with that assist in elimination, but nothing too tragic here at the moment. Drake's still up. Grub's coming up in 40 seconds. Both junglers in that top side. Possibly a gank here out of Zac. Will go in onto Renekton, but we're also having a fight here at the bot side. And they need to be very careful. I'm not sure why we haven't panned up here yet, League of Legends. I hate having to having to take over. Super Bear in the area fighting the crab, it seems. And Bessa just needs to kind of sit under tower. I think we'll do a great job. There's good bubble out of Nami. Just trades back and forth each way. Zeri actually kind of the coming out in the lead there. Super Bear gonna get away, but just kind of got wailed on, which leaves the law to fend for himself here and probably send the grubs over to Purdue. Yeah, Purdue will get on the grubs. Ambessa's just trying to clear the vision. Not going to be able to do so, though. Doriana is actually kind of accumulating a pretty big lead. I'd say that's going to be what you expect out of Jakimbo in that mid lane. Nothing out of the ordinary, really. Dive here out of Rakan, but Nami is just landing these bubbles like crazy. I feel like sometimes some of these games we've seen the Nami pick and the bubbles haven't been landing, and that's kind of like the huge thing, right? If you can land the bubble and you can knock them up, especially when it's like Rakan diving like this, that's huge. Great tidal wave as well. I'm not sure the sustain's going to be there for Xayah Rakan. The ult misses. Great sidestep out Diadem. I don't think they can catch up, though, unfortunately. Not going to be able to catch up, but I mean, great dodge there. Great, I mean, huge tidal wave. Knocked up both. Nami is playing insane right now. It looks like Renekton's going to go for this. Does have ultimate to pop. So does Ambessa, though. And, you know, just right back to the trading. Of course. Pinging Smite for Jarvan. Might look to see them go for the crap. Oh, no, wait, that was a while ago. I don't know why I missed that. Syndra backing. They do have vision here on the Super Bear, but he's going to just look to clear that out and back for his bot lane duo. Syndra TPs. Being question mark ping there. But will be found very, very soon. Actually walking towards the jungle here. I'm not sure. Just getting vision, but it's gonna get spotted, so definitely not gonna catch Valpo off guard. I think Purdue wants to fight for this dragon. And Bessa does have TP. She can join this fight if they are interested. It doesn't appear so because Renekton doesn't have TP, so he can't get into this fight either. You just probably want to maintain your lead here or not your lead, but not let the top wave kind of get out of hand, and just continue to play it how it is, 1-1 in the top lane. Just take the 4v4 here in the bot lane because there's no one with really a massive lead. I mean, Xayah did just get first item, but I think, yeah, Zeri is going to be ready to buy that. Just needs to have an opportunity to back. Orianna will clear out and hit a nice little base as we see almost a 20 CS lead forming in the mid lane. The same thing with the bot lane. Not as big, but Zayah does have that one elimination, which is a little bigger. Super Bear, probably pretty even with Jarvan going for Sunfire as opposed to the Sundered Sky, the Purdue jungler. Jarvan back in that bot side, pinging on the dragon, the Tribush, and the ward. They are clearing out the vision, so they may be in an attempt to take the dragon finally, but the Valparaiso jungler is here, so it's not going to be a free one, for sure. We know Valpo loves to fight. They are on the dragon starting it. It's about half health. They're going to have to go now, and the time this vision gets cleared, you're just not going to be able to get onto it, unfortunately. And, sure, a little bit of an attempt at a predict. Great ultimates out of Valpo. Gonna get exhausted. Super Bear's here for the dive. So is Jarvan. That's gonna be an elimination through. I'm not sure anyone can get down here in time. There's no wards to TP to, even though both are up in the mid and top lane. And that will be another elimination over to Xayah, which is pretty much the last person you want to get it. But both teams actually see it in the bush. Is kind of funny. They did not know of each other's existence there. Kimbo just chunking out the Syndra. I mean, pretty big domination out there. Big issue right now is just going to be Valpo has not been able to team fight and use his expertise and use that super crucial Orianna ultimate. Necton will actually miss out on a cannon here, which is pretty huge. The wave has been thrown under the Purdue tower. I don't think any of that got missed though, so back and forth farming. Syndra is walking down. Orianna not following. This could be rough for the bot lane here. Knock up out of Rakan. I'm not sure anyone's close enough to really follow up on it, and I don't think there's any potential for a dive. They're missing out on their wave under the tower at the moment. Dive into the top lane, but Jarvan's here. Need to be careful. We'll go in. Doesn't have ult back up yet. It's very close. Jakimbo is just doing a great job in this mid lane, winning the farm battle. I mean, that lead is just growing. Great bubble there out of Nami, but they might get dove under the tower. Tidal wave is going to be huge. Going to keep them alive, but I don't think they can keep trading. I think they just need to pull back for a moment until they can get some assistance. Rift Herald will spawn 2 minutes, 20 seconds until the next Drake, and Valpo needs some help in the bot lane. It looks like they're actually going to dive the mid laner, probably to use this all on Orianna. Dive happens here under the tower. The ultimate out of Xayah will get her another actually 2 eliminations. Yeah, they gotta help the bot lane at this point. Like, yeah, they got the kill onto Jakimbo in the mid lane, but this Xayah is beyond fed at 4 eliminations right now. First tower will also go to Purdue. Orianna is just not gonna have enough damage to push through this one. Jarvan's in the area. Not sure he can really look for a dive. Not sure what he can do with Flash being up. Whoa, maybe a little bit of a overcommit there. Will get the ultimate, but has to use Flash. To be very careful he doesn't overstay. Yeah, because here's Xayah Rakan. As soon as Rakan gets a knock up here, it'll just pretty much be impossible. Trades back and forth here out of Renekton and Bessa. And Bessa just hoping Renekton goes slightly too far and ends up under the tower. Purdue taking the Rift Herald. Not sure anyone's really going to be able to contest here. Xayah is just going to melt this tower. The dive coming out of Zac will land. They get a knock up, but Rakan's going to take a tower shot here. He's actually got Jax rooted, so. Valpo definitely down in the objective game at the moment, but it's really only one player online for the side of Purdue. No one else is anywhere, so if they can either dive and catch out the Xayah or get into fights where Xayah's not present, they should be fine for the moment. I don't think there's going to be any issue. Trades back and forth here. Out of Ambessa and Renekton again. Second Drake is here in 4 seconds. They need to protect this mid tower, though. This game gets really rough without the mid tower. And I don't think they've got enough to save it, unfortunately. Zac's going to dive, but Jarvan's also going to be here, I think. Actually, Zac's not diving. We'll see that. And there goes the Herald. And this tier 2 is about to fall as well. Someone from Valpo needs to collapse here. The Orianna and Ambessa coming in. This is going to be Valpo's attempt to get back into this game. To the forward. The Xayah ult already popped. It's not going to do much. The Ambessa ult as well. Xayah's getting very low dangerously. The tidal wave, though, won't hit. And I don't think the Law can get in there. We're looking for Zeri to hopefully clean this up. Super Bear's in there, but this Renekton ult's going to be massive, and Orianna is just now in the area. Has a massive ult, but I'm not sure what he could do from this. Xayah should fall. There goes to Yovana. Actually going to get away from the Renekton here. Not sure how much health Syndra has full, so there's probably not much they could do. They need to just cut their losses, get out of here. A 2-for-2 trade. They got the gold out of the Xayah, who grabbed one more. You can see Rakan pinging what was used, but I mean, at that point, it's pretty much everything except Syndra got popped, I think, in that fight on both sides. I think that was a great fight. If they had managed to land just slightly more damage, or maybe if Orianna had been there a little sooner on Xayah, I think that's actually just ends up being a full wipe for Valpo. Unfortunately, there was just nowhere to really TP to for Jakimbo, so you couldn't get there fast enough, or faster than what you did. Because as you saw, I mean, that was like, I think a 4-man ultimate he landed, and really worked out well. Super Bear looking to go in, will grab Rakan, but not able to combo that. Purdue kind of hovering, posturing, looking like they want to fight the dragon. That's just a bunch of nonsense happening there. And good knock-up out of Super Bear, but needs to be careful. I mean, his damage just isn't here yet. Xayah's pretty low. He's just going to go back in. They land a double tidal wave, and they are just looking to find Xayah, find something. Get Zeri an elimination. It will just be on to Orianna, but I mean, Renekton has TP'd in, and this is just going to be rough because Ambessa, while the TP came as well, is just not there yet. Looking to get onto Xayah. 1 HP. I mean, it's just insane how you're getting out of there with that low in every single fight. But I think Super Bear either A, went in too early, or B, the team needed to be ready to follow up Super Bear, and that was just when, when he had to go. But it was kind of all alone and staggered, and by the time anyone else was there, he was retreating, and it was uh, he was already half health. There was just no follow up, no dive out of the rest of his team that was there. The TPs came in, Renekton was able to just pop ultimate and kind of be a nuisance back and forth. Second Drake also goes over to the side of Purdue. About a 3,000, 4,000-ish gold lead at the moment, which, according to the NECC, is not big enough to win. Be considered a win here. So I believe we had a even larger lead than this. Looks like they might be trying to clear vision for Otacon. Jarvan is in this bot side along with Syndra and Rakan, but you would assume you want Xayah there for the damage. Not really sure anyone else is going to do enough damage or much damage to clear that out. Nami needs to be careful. They are pushing down in here and clearing out this vision. No camps for them to steal, but looks like it's going to be a fight. No TP up. TP ready for Jakimbo, though. He could join this and make it a 4v5. There's not really anything great to TP to. The ward by the chickens, possibly. Looks like a fight's going to happen here. I'm not sure the TP will be even committed. It is committed. There is an all up for Nami with this tidal wave, and that's a great pull. Rakan's going to get grabbed, be half health. I think Valpo could still pursue this, in all honesty, or just trade and pull off onto the Otacon here. They have started it. They do have vision on this, so Jarvan will know when he can dive. Jakimbo, great flash to avoid the Rakan. Gonna actually dive from Super Bear. Xayah, or I'm not sure if that was Xayah or Rakan, but oh my gosh, he just got obliterated immediately. The Law falling very low. Does get out for the time being, but I think he's pretty much dead. We'll get smited there, and I think that turns the fight. Sure, Jakimbo's looking to attempt to steal this, or maybe they're looking for eliminations here. Does have ult online. Will find one. Actually, might just be able to turn this fight. Gonna have to flash the ult, and I don't think anyone's gonna have enough health here to get back in on this. It's just Xayah at the moment, but the rest of his team's falling. He needs to be very careful. He's gonna have no help soon. Gonna look to take this, but I think he's just gonna get chunked out here. There's not gonna be anything he can do. No, he's just going to die. Purdue overstaying way too long. You had won the fight. It was time to get out. Everyone was low. Somehow no one had been eliminated. But, Jarvan tried to walk down the full health Orianna, who's 5-0 now, in a 30 CS lead over their laning opponent. Renekton did do some good damage through the top lanes, but, I mean, Otacon and all of those eliminations over to the side of Valpo. I just not sure what the call was there. Why Xayah thought she could 1v3. Yeah, you're fed, but so is the Orianna, and the Nami can just heal. Like, you could do the damage, but Nami was just going to start to heal it back, and you saw the sustain just wasn't there. Now Valpo really just needs to worry about pushing these lanes in. There are no objectives up at the moment. Baron will spawn in 7 seconds, but the odds you go for a Baron right away are usually very low. Maybe a fight happens here, and that'll be what causes it, but Valpo's kind of got control of this upper river, sort of. The bottom half of the upper river. I guess you could say Syndra maybe has a little more control being ranged. 1v1 happened here between Jakimbo and Renekton. He gets very, very chunked. Gonna have to leave, and this should open an opportunity for Valpo. They are gonna spot Super Bear. I believe he probably saw that ward too, or it should get pinged on the map. Uh, so they do know where everyone is. They do know that Purdue has vision on the Baron as well. The possible fight happening here. The only thing is Orianna has no flash and no ultimate. Super Bear does have ult. We'll grab Jarvan. Not sure he's able to grab anything else and pull them here. And this is going to be a 4v5. Syndra is TPing in. Valpo needs to be scared or careful about this. It is now an even fight. They do have flash on everyone except the mid and top laners. And Bessa gonna land the ult immediately. Just gonna be able to 1v1 the Syndra, I think. Actually just gets knocked up like crazy. Nah, there's just not enough damage, unfortunately. And this Orianna ult is back up, though. This is gonna be the key. This and the tidal wave. This could be a great tidal wave angle here for Nami. Just need to pop it. There we go. They're going to be very low. I think this is just going to be a cleanup out of Valpo. Going to have 4 players still remaining. Just the bot lane out of Purdue ready, and they're pivoted. They're not worried about chasing. They're worried about moving to the Baron and taking it. I don't think even if Mr. Hard and a T1 Korean name come over here, Zyra Khan, that they're going to be able to do anything. Jakimbo's actually just going to be in the jungle here, break that, and kind of just play some disruption here. Not a bunch of damage on the side of Valpo. TP up for Renekton if they want to try to contest this, but once Orianna comes over here, I don't think they're going to be able to do it. Flash is ready for Jarvan, apparently. Or wait, did I read that wrong? Oh no, R is ready for Jarvan. But this is going to be the Baron, and now these waves are going to start pushing in Valpo's favor. You can see a majority of them are pushing for Purdue at the moment and causing Valpo to have to farm it, but now they should be able to flip that the other way. Orianna is going to walk in here and see that the buff is being stolen, and they might be able to collapse on this. The Orianna ult is up and ready, I believe. I think it just came up, actually, like right when he pulled that back. I couldn't tell. We have a we put our stream on a 32-inch TV. Actually, I think this is way bigger than 32 inches. This might be like a 48, which makes it a little hard sometimes to see. Gonna chunk out Rakan a little bit here as he's alone. He's kind of separated. And Bessa needs to be careful, though. Not going to be any tower to fall to here. Jarvan does not commit ultimate. Probably a good decision. Or is it offline? I can't tell. Once again, the TV's beating me because it's not great quality. But Bessa did have flash either way, so not probably not the character you want to use that on. I also don't know if her dashes allow her to go out of it. I would assume no. That feels really broken, but you know, it is Riot Games, and they put in a new champ in. They don't go easy. Super Bear walking into the jungle here, gonna start hitting the blue. I'm not sure that's a great idea. With Jarvan in the area, yeah, it's just gonna be in their best interest, I think, to take this tower, which they will do. I'm not sure how much longer the Baron has. I don't even know where you find that one out at, but just need to keep using this Baron advantage. Super Bear will grab onto Rakan and push him away. And it appears Orianna is lagging. That is not good. Do we get a replay now? Because we complained about lagging. But and Bessa using that cannon to take this here. Looks like Super Bear's gonna dive, gonna land on Rakan. We'll grab Jarvan as well. Need to be very careful. Jarvan does have flash and ultimate here. But I mean, this cannon is just doing work onto that tower. Renekton's trying his best, but it's looking to catch someone out basically on the side of Valpo at the moment. Rakan is alone. This is the opportunity. Zyra Rakan. Movie top. They're actually going to look for Ambessa possibly. Jarvan in the area. Smartly, Ambessa moving back to the wave. Also looking to back. Did have a lot of gold there, over 1,000 to be spent. Super Bear jumping around. not anywhere to go. Valpo clearing out the vision here. Next Drake up in 1 minute. This will be a sole point, I believe, for Purdue. So this one's a crucial one to fight over. Not sure how long the Baron buff has. I'm actually going to land on Jarvan. This could be a huge pick if they can find this one. Not going to opt to use the R, which I think is the right decision because Jarvan can just kind of throw his flag down and jump away. But Valpo has great vision here. There's the R. There's Sidra will fall. Super Bear going to be able to grab onto Jarvan. That's a huge piece gone out of Purdue already. Not going to be up for 40 seconds, and Ambessa is still putting the pressure here. Renekton's going to have to pull out. This is rough right before the dragon spawns. Clearing out the vision now, and I don't know. They're going to look to just take a pick for Ambessa to trade this dragon, which isn't the worst idea in the world. I'm not sure they're going to be able to lock Ambessa down, though, with TP and Flash and Ultimate here. Rakan going to be there. Jarvan jumps on top, but I mean just great Flash out of Ambessa. And now 3 have committed top. That's a free Drake over to the side of Valpo, and the ability to continue pushing the lanes. Nami, Zeri, Zach all back to be ready for this pressure and fill in for the side. They know where Xayah is at the moment. They don't know about Jarvan, but he will just end up leaving. Unfortunately, the Gromp no longer there for Zach. This game, actually, for the first time, I believe, is in Valparaiso's favor gold-wise. It actually swings right back after you say that, but finally even. I think they were down almost 5K at one point, so this one's been pulled back from the depths, it seems. Luckily, that Baron play was that play at the in front of the Drake into the Baron there. Even though they lost that Drake, getting the Baron was just huge. Able to make sure all 3 tier 1s are gone, really hammer onto that tier 2 in the mid. No objectives up. Baron in 25, so we might see a fight again. It's going to be huge. I think the keys to look out for here are just going to be Orianna and the Xayah, both extremely fed. Dive in here, gonna grab Rakan and pull him back. Unfortunately, he's not gonna do much. Syndra not gonna hit anything. This is just rough. Super Bear just has no option. Tidal Wave will go on to the already eliminated Diadem. Getting so close, Xayah will pop, and that's all the damage gone pretty much at this point on the side of Purdue. They just need to be careful they don't let Renekton get on top of someone like Orianna. While Jarvan is up, I don't think they could take the Baron. Realistically. Flash gone on Super Bear. Ambessos was gone a little earlier, but still up on the side of Nami and Zeri and Jakimbo, so just a little trade back and forth, 2 for 2. Gets your Orianna another elimination though, which is huge. You just got to keep playing the game through Jakimbo right now and that ultimate. It's just going to be massive. Baron has spawned. Next Drake in 2 minutes. Just kind of some back and forth action here. Rakan getting some vision, possibly clearing out some vision. Purdue has really dominated that this game. It's been rough for Valpo. They've pretty much been able to be seen on the map no matter where they have been. Ambessa matching Renekton in the bot lane. Both have TP to get out of there. Valpo taking back some of this control here towards the Baron, which I think is going to be crucial. This next fight over the Baron's probably going to in this one. I'm not sure anyone has sweeper up to clear that ward, unfortunately, but they now know that Jarvan was on Crab. I want to see hopefully Super Bear grab someone else or dive someone other than Rakan, because at the moment he keeps having a great dive and then a grab and then it's Rakan, and Rakan can just get out onto the nearest teammate. It's not really done much for them. Looks like Purdue's actually gonna opt to play for the Drake, and you know, I'd say that makes sense, having 3 already. And Valpo kind of has to fight this. You can't. I mean, you could trade this for the Baron, but I just don't think it's worth it. Looking to dive. Oh, that grab would have been huge. Would have been able to combo that with a minion. Need to be careful. Jarvan is here with Flash and Ultimate. Walking through this little alley is very dangerous. Drake is up. Everyone's here except Syndra, who's TPing in. And you now know that they are posturing. If you didn't have that figured out already, huge chunk onto Rakan. Are they just gonna look to go Baron? Give up a second Drake? No. Walk it back, maybe just check in to make sure, but they do have vision on it. This top wave is going to be a bit of an issue here soon for Valpo. Renekton backing, does have TP to come back into this fight. Probably won't use it unless needed. Zaya also back in, so this could be an opportunity for Valpo to kind of get in here on this Drake. Super Bear dives into the bush. Nothing crazy. Nothing yet. Valpo really needs to be able to clear this vision, though, in the Drake pit. And force Purdue's hand. Force them to walk at you. Gonna be a grab here. Gonna be able to combo that as well. Khan, half health. There'd be another grab here. Not able to grab onto Rakan. That probably would have been huge. Need to be careful. Zaya is kind of pinching at the moment, and Renekton. Super Bear clearing the vision. Your tank, not really worried about him. He also has a lot of ability to get back out. Great combo onto Syndra with the ultimate out of Ambessa and Orianna. The issue is you now only have Zax's bounce in tidal wave. I don't really know if the Zeri ultimate's really been doing much. They will be able to get on this Drake. They need to just be careful about the waves now and that they don't get onto this Baron. They also need to be careful they don't get caught lacking by Renekton from behind. Valpo has no vision on the Baron. But they do keep that Drake count below 4, which is huge. And, gold, pretty much even, 67,000 for both. And Purdue actually will just start the Baron. There's no vision here for Valpo. They just don't know this. They haven't backed yet, so it looks like they're aware, but it's just going to blow up before anyone could get here. I'm not sure they can find anyone on the way out either, so both teams now have had a Baron. Valpo's going to have to try to sustain through this. Luckily for them, I think Zeri is great for clearing waves. Not so sure about the Ambessa Orianna clears, but let's see. Anyone holding on to a lot of gold? Orianna has 15k. Is that full build? Is that little purple crystal an item? I feel like it's not. Next Drake, 3 minutes, 30 seconds, so nothing to really fight for at the moment on the map. It's just going to be sustained out of Valpo and making sure they don't lose any of these towers. They have the tier 2 still in the bot lane, but all our inner towers from there on might be an angle to look to fight instead of trying to sustain, because it seems Purdue is going to try and collapse onto this bot tower and take it. Gonna have ults up for everyone on the side of Valpo. But the issue is they have no vision. Jax is diving, will land, will be able to grab 2 and combo them. The Orianna ult's going to go huge here. Good tidal wave. Knocks up 1. They're very low. No one's fallen yet. This is crazy. Super Bear will fall first. Died in very low. Down goes Jarvan. Not really much of a tank left. I guess Renekton, but does not have ult still. Ult ready for Jakimbo, though. Was able to save that, so probably could get Syndra here with that, I would assume. The issue is how can you get onto them with these supercharged minions that will start to hurt if you're hit by them, you know? Ult does get popped, gonna get resurrected, unfortunately. I'm not sure if they can get the elimination follow-up here. Will get stunned, and the Law does just burn. Can't get out. But I mean, they're just so low on the side of Purdue, and we've seen this over and over that Valpo just gets them so low and just haven't been able to finish the job. And getting resurrected there is going to be crucial. Crucial for Purdue and keeping them in the lead of this one, but definitely not over. You know, I think the fights are pretty much lost if Xayah is within the first two to die on the side of Purdue. So it's just going to be, can Valparaiso find the Xayah and get her off the board early? The fights they've been able to do that, it's went very, very well. Near full wiping, but that hasn't been every fight, unfortunately. So they are going to three-man invade into the jungle here. Looking to catch someone off guard. All of Valpo is in the area. No Ambessa. They got to be careful. This is just going to get really rough here in a second. They are on vision. They saw them all walk through. Arvin will get grabbed. I don't think they're going to be ready for everyone here. Tidal Wave is up for a surprise, along with basically everything else in the arsenal. Flashes, no heal, no barrier. On the side of Purdue, no flash, no barrier for Xayah. Does have the ult to kind of use as an escape mechanism. That mid tier 2 will just passively die, so Valpo just, has to be aware that they're somewhere here, and they're not on vision, not farming minions, they're nowhere in the area, so now you know. Now you know they're pretty much all behind you. The Law just kind of running it down on them at the moment. They're just looking to get onto Xayah, who's been separated. They will be able to get out, though, with the Blast Cone. Valpo wants to fight. This Drake comes up in 5 seconds. They need to win this fight. They need to keep Purdue away from those 4 Drakes. That total, that's what you're looking for. Ultimate ready for Renekton. Doesn't have Flash to get on top of anyone, though. Neither does Jarvan. Actually, only Flash is on the Rakan at the moment. The dive comes in. There's the Tidal Wave. It's huge. The Law in the back line trying to sustain, but, I mean, the rest of the team's just not in the area. No one falls at the moment. Down goes Zeri, but I'm not sure there's going to be any follow-up here, unfortunately. Everyone's just so low. But there's just no way for them to get past Renekton at this point, it seems. That bush is warded. Xayah looking to move forward and push the wave. Will just get huge chunk. The ultimate not going to be up for a while. Jakimbo, great sidestep. Will find one and go golden. I'm not sure he's going to have any assistance here. Rakan's not going to really be able to do anything. It's going to be the Syndra you need to be worried about. Not going to be able to find it, as she is pretty much full health. I mean, you delay the Xayah, you find that elimination, but at the moment it's just Nami, and the next person up is Zeri in 15, and I'm not sure that there's going to be enough delay here. They don't have the Baron. They don't have that buff, but they did get that 4th Drake. Tidal Wave here to kind of push the minions back and push everyone else back. Good bubble. Zeri's here, looking to do some damage. Will pop the ultimate, but just gets stunned up right away. I mean, what can you do? Ambessa's here now, along with Zac. This game's not over yet. Need to find these on the way out. Zac gets the double knock up here. Renekton, though, just has ultimate. He's able to pop and sustain for so long. I think when his ult falls, he will as well, possibly. Not really sure what he could do to get out of here. Just going to be able to be consistently knocked up by Super Bear. He will just be able to get out. There's just not enough damage at the moment between the Ambessa and the Zac. Good news, Valpo hangs on. Bad news, the Baron's up, and I think Purdue should just be able to take it. I'm not really sure what Valpo can do here in this first game. Yeah, that Baron's just going to fall. Valpo's not even going to be able to contest. Just going to have to keep farming for some items here. This is going to be really rough with these super minions and the Baron buff to be able to sustain here. They're going to have to find a fight, and they're going to have to find a pick. Everyone up on the side of Valpo. Gonna look to hopefully see a huge ultimate out of Orianna, possibly onto the Xayah immediately. Get a big chunk, maybe. Looking to protect this top tower at the moment. The inhibitor's already gone through the mid. Not much you could do. Just gonna be who wins this fight. Realistically, full build, out of your Orianna as well as the Xayah, so they're not really getting much stronger in that regard. Issue, I guess Xayah or Orianna can go golden, but so can Syndra. Renekton gonna be able to revive as well, which is not gonna be great. There's double cannons powered up at the moment. Rakan just getting chunked out, but there's just not enough follow-up. Zeri cannot do much at the moment. Looking to clear minions and survive the Baron buff. I'm not sure Super Bear is gonna be let off the leash to dive for any of this. This should be the inhibitor, I believe, to fall in the top lane as well. They just somehow have to get on to Xayah. Not sure how they'll do it. Xayah has flash and ultimate, but if you could bait one of those out, possibly, and then maybe land Tidal Wave afterwards. That's huge. Xayah's not going to fall. She's going to pop ultimate. Jakimbo will go golden to survive at the moment. There's the out of one. Tidal Wave going to be huge. Someone needs to be able to get onto Xayah. The Law is trying his best, not able to do so. Zac will fall, but should respawn. I don't think anyone's going to be able to get onto him for an elimination here. And there's Syndra getting shut down. This has a possibility to be snowballed for Valpo. Mr. Hard at about half, along with Jarvan, but they just need to they take their trade. They found one. One died. Get out of there because the Elder Dragon is spawning in a minute 10, like you can see. The issue is going to be Ambessa can't really dive onto the backline for you here. Well, actually, she will respawn, but I'm not sure if that fight will happen beforehand. Jarvan back in, so be able to get into the jungle and take some vision for sure. But I mean, they do know he's there. Orianna gonna just look to walk down the Rakan or the Renekton. Apologies, Rakan is above them at the moment. Might get caught out here. Zac actually not gonna be able to land on him. But all things considered, Valpo surviving the Baron buff. And, now they just have to play for this Elder Dragon. I think it's probably long gone here if they can't get the Elder here. Oh, Diadem's just going to be caught out. I think that will be a knock-up here. Tidal Wave knocks up Rakan as well, and there's just not going to be any damage. TP coming in out of Ambessa, but not sure what they could do. The base is getting imploded upon by minions, and no one's low. Trying to keep Purdue in. That's a huge ultimate. Mr. Hard just surviving for a second. Ambessa actually finds a shutdown here. Rakan not in a position to do anything, but Renekton's in the base. Someone needs to be able to back. I think Orianna does get it off, but I'm not sure he gets back here in time to do anything. The fight is going to happen, but we're actually going to look away and see. Orianna will be able to keep him off because the tower is still there, but that is very close. Fight still happening here between Super Bear, the Law, and 3 players on the side of Purdue. Rakan really not doing anything. Maybe able to knock up here and there, but Damage is huge. We'll shut down Renekton as well. That's going to be massive for this next fight. Not going to have anyone to stand between them and the bear or the dragon. I think Valpo just has to go for this. You don't have your jungler. You're just going to have to try to commit onto this. Find something massive. You have Orianna ultimate coming back up, and they're going to back up. They are scared of Orianna. I think you just got to try to posture here. You know, hold off until your jungler is back up, but that's 40 seconds. That's going to be rough. Mr. Hard on Xayah coming back up in 5 seconds. No Renekton for a while, though. That's your positive at the moment. Maybe you can find a pick with this Orianna ult. This would be huge. We'll pull in the Rakan, who will just die. Rakan did a little bit of trolling there. They do have to use the ultimate, but Rakan's not going to be in the area for this fight. The only issue is they've started the Baron. You can't back if you're Valpo. You have to try and hold this off until Super Bear could get there. Nami and Zeri not going to be in the area. And they're just going to look to take it. The ult out of Ambessa misses, but going to get a huge damage onto Xayah here. I think can finish it off. We'll get resurrected. Orianna, though, fell. Tidal Wave coming in will be a big knockup. I'm not sure the Law can do anything, though. Zeri here for a cleanup, possibly. I think Zeri finally going to be able to show off some of that damage. We'll be able to jump the wall. I think Valpo's turning this. Renekton's here, has ultimate, no flash, no TP, and that's going to be the Elder Dragon to the side of Valpo. What a turn of events. They just need to push out these minions. I don't think they can go to the Baron. You know, you'd love to, but I think you've got more pressing matters at the moment. Jarvan does not come up for a whole minute, though, so you can clear this and start making your way over there, I think. As long as Zeri plays this well, Renekton should not be able to get on top, even with flash. Yeah, Super Bear making his way over into this jungle. The bot lane duo needs to join him. No, I guess they're not going Baron. They will see where the vision lies. Look to go clear it. Not going to fight to get the Elder Drag, which is huge. I can't believe this game's going still. 52 minutes in. Super Bear on it. Starting it. No Xayah for 10 seconds. No jungler for 15. I'm not even sure they can get here in time. Yeah, this might just be Baron to the side of Valpo. Khan clearing out some vision, but I mean, there's not TP on either side. Rakan or Renekton would have to contest this, and that's just going to be Baron over to the side of Valpo. Just need to be careful they do not get found out now. Be able to push these waves back into a manageable position, and what a game we are seeing here. This one's coming down to the wire. This is an hour-long classic out of League of Legends. I don't think anyone in this lobby is infinitely scaling, so they will just hit a point where they're as strong as they're going to be, which I guess you can say that's good for both teams. You know, a game of this length, you hope that's not the case. Purdue, though, just going to be in a rough spot here with pretty much, I think everyone's full build at this point, yeah, across the board, and Baron pushing them in. They're just looking to get a cannon onto this mid tower. I don't know if there's really even a dive opportunity. I mean, it's on Rakan. But with that Orianna ball there, it's going to be rough. Need to be careful. Renekton kind of walking over to the side here, but they just want to keep this cannon alive. And if anyone steps too close, they're going to get ulted by Orianna and just kind of get popped immediately, I think, by the ball. Ambessa walking up to the top lane as well. They're going to put on double pressure here. Valpo just has to play back, play with the minions. Let Ambessa take this tower because Renekton's going to get there, but I think it might just be too late. Mr. Hard's so low, but I mean, Rakan's just doing a fantastic job keeping him alive. Tidal Wave to split the difference. Ambessa ult not going to hit. That's a huge all out of Orianna. Gonna be resurrecting for Jarvan, but I think he should just probably fall immediately. Double kill onto Zeri. Purdue pushing back. Renekton already has popped ult, still has flash. Syndra has flash, no ult. Rakan only has ignite at the moment, no ultimate. I mean, this is gonna be really, really hard. This cannon is just going to wail onto this tower, and here comes the melee minions as well. That Orianna ult has just been crucial. Ambessa going in, pops the flash to push them farther away, get the inhibitor. I don't know what they could do here. This might be game over for Purdue. This tower is going to fall very, very fast. I mean, I think Super Bear could just kind of wail on it. Here they go. Rakan with a little bit of a knockup. They need to just take this tower out so they're not getting hit. There's the tidal wave, and Purdue has thrown this game possibly. What a comeback out of Valparaiso. Oh my gosh. That was insane. One for the books, I'd say. Oh my. And then we have no thing there, of course. But geez, taking a look. I mean, it was the Orianna show. 88,000 damage out of Jakimbo. I mean, holy cow. They might. Hopefully, they're not already in the next draft. Hopefully, they waited on us. Um, but I mean, hey, you know what? NECC, you could take away game one from us, but we'll still win game one. I'm not sure what's going on here. They've hit a sounds good in chat. Possibly like a short break here, probably after that hour-long game. But wow, that was insane. I can't wait for delay to catch up maybe and see some chats here. There's the draft link. Sure if they're ready to go, or if they're just getting that up and available for us. I think hopefully. But wow, what a game number one going over to Valpo. Purdue losing that game do get to choose the side if they want to be red or blue, which determines the draft order and the side of the map you're on. Blue is the bottom, or I don't know. I guess you call it the bottom side of the map, and then red side is the top or the right half. Yeah, and so blue gets first pick, red gets back-to-back picks. So depends on how you want to do it. But yeah, that's funny. It's like a magic trick. Got to keep your eye on the ball. That's a great analogy here. Kudos to Mr. Hard. I don't know how he kept surviving, but he was doing his best to keep his team in it. Uh, just wasn't unfortunately able to do so. NECC is a fearless draft, though, a little different than some of the GLEC games we do stream, meaning none of those characters that were just played are able to be used again in game number two. It actually appears there's going to be a switch of characters or players on the side of Purdue. They're switching who's playing in their jungle, which is interesting. I don't think we've ever seen that happen in the league. From anyone besides our team, and that's just because we usually play very well and then switch our new player in to get him some reps, because the law does graduate in the fall. So, but I mean, what a finish there out of Alpha. I see the stream just caught up. I've got it pulled up on the side, and I mean that was crazy. We're just waiting now for the new player to get in here, and then hopefully the draft to start. I don't think I've missed it. Surely it hasn't started yet. We'll have it over here just for what it is. Little switch. Yeah, DDM went crazy there at the end. Yeah, as soon as Valpo got past 40 minutes, it was over. I think, are going to take a little break here. I'll be right back as we hopefully get into this next moment here. or next game, next draft, because that was a long one for me. So I need a little breather. We'll be right back with game two, hopefully though. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. We're getting into this draft. It appears Valpo is still on the blue side, and Purdue wanted red, I believe. I believe they get to choose side based on it. Based on the NECC rules, that is. Had a bit of an issue of Purdue trying to sub in a player that was not listed on the roster. So that swap is not happening. They will continue to use the same five. Bans for Purdue are going to be Viego, Lulu, Talia. Pretty standard things we see banned against us. And then Valpo will ban Belveth, uh, Echo, and Galio. Gonna actually first pick Seraphine, which is, uh you know, I don't even know how to feel about that. I don't even know if I have words. Hwei picked for the mid lane here. Surely it's not going to be like some crazy like Seraphine ADC or something like that, but uh, Purdue gets back-to-back picks, being the red side here. Uh, they will go Maokai, which is interesting. Um, Leaving your jungler kind of open to counter pick this early. Senna gonna be the ADC on the side of Valpo. Uh, so a little Senna Seraphine bot lane action. They are gonna go Wukong. I feel like, and some of you in the chat might know a little more League than me, but from passive watching, I like to watch professional play, even though I'm not great, and I've not played much of the game in all honesty compared to these people. But I feel like if that is Maokai jungle, I feel like I've heard someone say that Maokai is kind of a bit of a counter to the Wukong, which would mean Valpo just counterpick themselves. Maybe it's the other way around. Sivir gonna be the ADC, good for wave clear for sure. No, nothing to pick with it. Gonna be into the second set of bands here. Kled band, very very interesting. I don't know if that's like a something to do with that. Or to do with the composition Valpo's building or what, but I don't know if I let's see them playing Kled. Yorick gonna be banned by Valpo. Last ban for Purdue Ruby will be interesting to see. Vel'Koz banned in the mid lane, which is something I think we've seen out of Jakimbo in mid lane. Obviously, there's support here. Yeah, you ban a top laner, you ban a support. That makes sense. Um, Now it's just to see what the top or the support is here out of the side of Purdue. Do they take a pick now and not let it be chosen away by Valpo, or do they try to save the pick for the last second so they don't get countered? And they will save their top to do some countering. It's going to be Brahms, Sivir in the bot lane, and then we'll see what gets passed over here. Mord in that top lane. There's a couple Mord counters out there for sure that could make this rough. No mid laner yet. Able to counter pick into that way if you want. Mord pretty tanky, I'd say. Wukong definitely not super tanky. The Galio's already gone, which is kind of a mid lane pick. Xerath for some good range here between Senna, Seraphine, Xerath. Be able to let the Wukong, the Mordecai get in there and stay back. Also, that stun, that CC is going to be huge. And then it's just going to be a Kali into the mid lane, which I mean, it can if Kali can kind of get out in the lead and get on top of Xerath, it'll be good. But if he can hold his stun, I think he's fine. Um, I'm interested to see. Or wait a second. Is that a Kali top lane? Or yeah, I mean, I guess it has to be. Wait, unless they're flexing way into the top lane. That's very interesting picks. I'm interested to see where they get played out here. Um, on the side of Purdue, it looks like Hui is gonna get locked in to the mid lane, and Akali the counter pick into the Mord. We do have about 3.5 minutes until we get loaded into this one, so we're gonna go to be right back. Then hopefully maybe a little bit of a faster win for Valpo and not that hour-long game. But the hour-long game was great to watch. Plenty of highlights there and great moments. So we'll be back when we get through this loading phase, and then the League of Legends built-in delay catches up. So don't go anywhere. All right, everybody, we are back here in game number 2. I just realized we actually didn't have our overlay this entire time, which is kind of funny. All right, let me grab a Google Chrome tab away from you guys. I apologize. The stream PC dying on us has, or like everything going away has made that rough for us. But shouldn't be missing anything now. Maybe the first second that the bottom thing might be popped up on you on accident. I apologize. I'll get this up for you. I won't leave you hanging. A little fight here onto Maokai, and I think he's just going to be dead. He's going to actually flash over the wall. I don't know. Jakimbo might be able to walk that down. Not going to be able to. Going to be using the potion to get out. I didn't know you guys couldn't actually see that. Is that because it's not a full screen application? Just been staring at our desktop here. Yeah, it's supposed to capture this, but it's not capturing League. Oh, we're black. I apologize. You'd think I've done this before a couple times. Oh my. I mean, this is just beyond scuffed right now. Holy, we should be back in action here. I apologize. Map number, it says map 1, but it's map 2. I don't know why that didn't update. I actually do. And we are having a lot of dueling back and forth. Mr. Hard, pretty low. Braum, full HP. Gosh, I just want to get to this and update it. Please say map 2 now. There we go. All right. We're here. No one's been eliminated. No flash on Maokai for a little bit, but I'm not sure it's going to matter. Mr. Hard taking cleanse in this one. Makes sense. Diadem has lost barrier and flash. No heal on Seraphine. Oop, good stun there on Jakimbo. Lane's pretty even at the moment. Appears Wukong, or no, Wukong's just gonna have a faster clear due to them catching Maokai. I'm not sure if Maokai, unfortunately, because we were editing this, was looking for vision or invading, which I feel like invading on Maokai is probably a terrible idea. Wukong does get the first crab, looking to maybe jump in here onto the mid lane, but I don't think Wei is far enough forward for it to do anything. Gonna possibly contest this crab. Both jugglers have smite. Maokai's just gonna have to back off because Wukong is just gonna be way more dangerous, you know, which is kind of surprising. You know, usually you're thinking the Wukong needs to hit level 6 to kind of be a threat anywhere, but he will just be able to double crab and get out of here. I'm very interested. Maybe someone in chat can enlighten me on the Akali pick here. I'm not sure what the point is. I guess your Maokai is kind of your tank option along with the Braum, but First Drake will spawn in here, and that reminds me every time when it comes in to whenever I notice it's in, I guess, on the map to pop up the timers. Grubs in 2 minutes. Pretty much trading back and forth. Xerath's got a pretty nice lead. Bot lane seems to be even. Wukong a little bit ahead. Akali got a lead on the Mord at the moment. Not sure if there's a reasoning behind going Akali into Mordekaiser. But there might be. Looks like Purdue's just kind of get a free dragon here. Wukong as the clone flashes over. Whoa! That's a... I don't know if I am a fan of that attempt. Guess look to flash smite it and then hop back over the wall, but yeah, probably not the best interest. Good pull there out of Mord. Putting yourself between Akali and the way she wants to go. I think that's probably a good idea. But I just really don't think he'll be able to get a kill. Akali doesn't have flash though. There's some trades back and forth in the mid lane. This game's a lot more boring. We're seeing so much action and fights on repeat there at the end of game 1. I want that back in game number 2. Good grab. I mean, Mord is not missing these. Just needs to make sure he keeps up farming. Good route. Braum will jump in the way. No, Mr. Hard's pretty low. Not level 6 yet. Has cleanse and flash. I mean, all things considered, I think Cynic could just kind of play this range game. Xerath in ult, gonna look to just shoot down Hui. Will find it. That's the key to the Xerath ultimate. You know, is that a we don't know to why they would pick Akali? There's the ult. Good charm. Diadem finds one. I don't think they can catch Braum. They're gonna have to get a root here. And it's just not gonna land. No one in the area to help. A lot of stuff dumped there on the side of Valpo, but to get that first eliminate, or oh no wait, that's the second elimination. I forgot Xerath got a solo kill. Okay, so it's possibly not. It's not really intended to do anything with Mordekaiser. It's more about the rest of the team that Valpo has here. He will dive in. Do a pretty good chunk actually into Mord, but nothing's really gonna happen out of it. Cause Mord to back. Mord doesn't have TP, so grubs are up. Neither jungler on that side of the map though. Wukong just got a crazy farming lead right now though. So much more pace. Valpo's bot lane down a little CS, but probably up gold overall here. I would think with that elimination. No, actually down gold. I'm an idiot. I lied. Maokai's here. Ult popped as well. Valpo's bot lane needs to get out. Diadem will flash away. Needs to be careful though. Super Bear here. Gonna get the knock up and find one. Can't go in on Mr. Hard under the tower. I think they just need to kill Maokai here. They're not gonna get into that. Xerath ultimate. Not gonna be able to finish the job either. And Mr. Hard solo. Xerath though gonna come over in here and might just be able to double kill clean up. Gonna force the Maokai ultimate there to be popped just to die, and there goes another one. Valpo dominating this game early. Wait, Wukong stole the... Oh, you're right. Wukong did steal the dragon. I swear that didn't pop up, though. Am I crazy? Maybe it did pop up, you know? I'm feeling sleepy. I'm sorry. That first one was a long game, and when you're the only person in here talking, you Start to lose it a little bit, I think. Oh, the stun does land. I mean, Hui is just kind of getting dominated right now. Wukong and Xerath with huge leads over their lane opponents, if you want to also call the jungle that. You know, the bot lane doing a great job here. Keeping up in CS. That's something we've seen issues with them, is being able to keep up CS wise, but I mean they're just doing a fantastic job today. Okay, maybe looking to steal this crab, but I think Jakimbo and Super Bear are more worried about killing Maokai than they are that crab. There's the knock-up. He's not really going to be able to get away. Will pop his ult, but I mean, Xerath can just finish it off. It's another elimination. Xerath already on 3. Some back and forth top lane fighting, you know. You know how it is. Oh, stunned. The ult should do it here. I think they'll land. Just gonna walk back and forth. Won't actually do it. Will be super low, but I mean, Hui just, I feel like you have to back, right? Xerath's gonna end up finding this. Second Drake goes over to Valpo. Not a crazy gold lead at the moment, but need to be careful. Some vision placed down there by Kali. Interesting. I'm just hoping the Wukong, I guess, doesn't get up into the area at all. I think, you know, really, that's kind of the lane that's going the best for them right now. It's that top lane. Senna and Seraphine getting out. Really no issues, to be honest. No flash for either of them. Everything but Braum flash up for the side of Purdue. Herald spawning in a minute 30.
Turret plating will fall soon.
Maokai on a little bit of an invade here. Needs to be careful. He's going to find himself cut out. He does have ult, but does not have flash. And Wukong's going to look to collapse. I don't know if Mord's going to be here, though. This might be a 2v3, unfortunately, for Valpo. This fight happening here. Flash does get Wukong out. Will not use ultimate either, it appears. So losing his jungle camps is the only unfortunate part. Kind of missing all of it. Huge stun there out of Xerath. I mean, just chunking him, and then you can just pop ult, and it doesn't matter. Maokai cannot come over to help. You know, he just can't even get there in time. Herald up in 25, but it's looking tragic at the moment on the side of Purdue. But, you know, we did see some huge gold flips in that last one. Purdue did have a pretty big lead over Valpo for some of that game, so definitely wouldn't say it's over yet. But this early, it can snowball very fast. Herald, though, over to the side of Purdue. Fortunately, Xerath's 4-0. 2 items and boots. This bot lane duo is just outranging Sivir. TP coming in out of Akali from behind. Valpo bot lane needs to be careful. They're going to get on to Seraphine here and probably will find the elimination. Senna's going to be able to get out, but Wukong's diving in return. Akali's now trapped. No real way out. Has flash at the moment and ultimate, but I'm not sure it's even worth using either. Oh, not going to be able to find it. But that flash ult from Mord is a little overkill. Xerath here to look to clean up, possibly. Not going to find anything, but this is a winning fight, I think, for Valpo. They're going to find a way. Maokai will get over the wall, but once this wave hits the tower, they might be in trouble. They actually might just look to take the tower. No, Mord's going to kind of cut them off at the moment. And, yeah, I think be worth just breaking the tower and then fighting here, right? Yeah. Down goes Maokai. Braum will be soon to follow. Mord gets one. Wukong gets the other. Tier 1 down in the mid and bot lane. This is snowballing fast. Not sure what the answer is here for Purdue. I don't know if this is too far gone. 5-0 out of both Wukong and Xerath. This might have been a draft gap. You might be right. This one might have been over before it started. So we're going to go from... I'm knocking on wood here. I don't know if you can hear that, but from a 1-hour game to like a 25-minute game, possibly. It's funny. Third Drake up. I don't even know how Purdue contests. Braum just getting caught out. I mean, not gonna be able to jump to his teammate, and I don't know how they fight for this drag here. I think they're just gonna have to give this one up. It's just looking rough, you know. I guess the top lane's in a pretty good spot, but that's about it. And Maokai has been dove on. Will pop the ult, but getting stunned up by Super Bear. Xerath ult coming in. Will look to get over the wall, not able to do so. Great knock up. Solo kill maybe for Joby? No, he's going to die to the tower even. I mean, it's just a disaster for Purdue right now at 15-2. What, like an 8K gold lead here. It's rough, and look at that. That's Sivir W just doing nothing to die them. You know, you're hoping that lands on, or maybe that's the Q. I can't even remember now. But you're hoping that lands onto the ADC. You know, maybe does a little bit of chunking, but it's not doing anything at all, actually. The law left alone with this top tier 1, it should fall. Maokai closest in the area, but not able to contest. They're going to be anywhere nearby. They are going to look to 3-man jump Mord, who does have ult, but does not have the flash to get out of here. Just going to save it and die. The elimination goes on to Braum. I mean, that's just a disaster if you're Purdue. Wow. You know, you finally find maybe the spark, maybe something you're looking for, catching someone out, and then your Braum gets the elimination. It just is not going well at all. Otacon started by Valpo. Maokai, top side of the map. Don't think there's going to be any potential here for anything on the side of Purdue to get in on this. They're going to get the mid-tier 1. They will summon the Herald as well. They will run that into the mid tier too. But they need to be careful because Valpo's closing in. I'm not sure they're going to be able to get backs off. Yeah, Sivir cancels it. I think it might have went off, but here's the knockup. It's just huge from Wukong. He will have to flee away, but he's going to get that second round of knockup. Down goes Braum. Joby putting in some work in the back line, but he's kind of trapped here. He's just pinned, gets pulled away from... and Xerath getting popped. Why can't we see this? Thanks, League Auto Spectate. Yeah, we wanted to see Wukong breaking the ward, riveting stuff. But I mean, it's 17-3 now. 7,000 gold lead for Valpo. 3 Drakes to none. Mordekaiser pushing in on that tier 2 in the top lane. No tower, or 1 tower down for Valpo. 4 on the side of Purdue. Yep, Mordekaiser is going to look to pull out, which is a great idea. Let's look at how much gold he's in on. 1,300 makes sense. But you could see 3,000 more gold spent by Wukong than Maokai, and around like 3,500 more by Xerath than Hui. So, I mean, so you know it's a little rough. 10 assists on Senna as well. Dido doing a great job of getting involved in everything here. Super Bear in on top, does have ult. Gonna look to back out, maybe go back in. I'm not sure what's happening here. Does get in on the Maokai. The ultimate comes up. We'll pop ult because he is going to be chosen. The Braum ult does come down as well. This might be Purdue's chance back in this. The Law not here in time. Xerath ult's going to come out and go big. They just need to try to protect him from Akali. They will get him away, and Xerath finds a double kill, and Akali might be eliminated as well. We'll flash over, but the heal comes in out of Yovana from the grave. They will get out. Oh, Boppy. Oh, buddy. You are in trouble. Akali, you know, putting in some work, but I mean, Mord is just sustaining so hard. Just great flash. The E doesn't land, but Jakimbo will find Akali. And that's another down. Baron up in a minute 18. Everyone will be up for that. But I mean, the 4th Drake is up, and it's pretty much Valpo's for the taking, I'd say. You know, that was some much better team fight there out of Purdue, getting Akali into that back line. But it just did not pay off, unfortunately. Okay, clearing the vision here. But they'll actually just end up losing theirs, and that's the 4th Drake over to Valpo. Elder Drag up next. And you know, this is where it gets rough. Maokai starts losing his farm, which just makes it even harder for your jungler to play. He basically just becomes a walking ultimate to hold the Valparaiso University side in place. Purdue is just gonna have to find some type of team fight to get back into this one, but I don't know what they would even, how or where. Guess Akali just has to hopefully get on top of Seraphine, pop Seraphine or Senna. But Valpo's starting the Baron. Maokai in the area along with the majority, not the majority of Purdue. Way is gone. Braum Sivir in the area. Should be able to walk over here to this. They should know that they're on the Baron. Valpo staying on it. Maybe just pulling out to not even risk it. To let it reset. Huge knockup out of Wukong. The ultimate coming in from Xerath. There falls one. Looking to land it. Not much vision. Will land on Joby. Not going to be able to get that next one, but he's going to pop even though he lands back on Super Bear. Maokai, all alone, will fall again. Wukong is massive. Super Bear doing it all right now. The engage, the eliminations, anything, and this should be Baron with 3 down on the side of Purdue. 23-6 right now in eliminations. Which is crazy. Look at that gold. Xerath, 10 eliminations, still has 16K in the bank. Spent so much. No, as a Valpo fan, you can't be upset at this performance. Definitely a much different tone than game number 1, which is awesome. Seems they've woke up a little bit. Maybe the mental boom gone a little bit there on the side of Purdue after losing what I would have considered a pretty significant lead. Ulting on the way, but we're just going to stare at him. Thanks, Director Cam. Don't bother showing us where those shots went. And now they're just looking to sustain. Trying to dive here, maybe onto Mord, but Wukong's in the area. Maokai, rooted. This is going to be rough. Does have flash. Will get out, but has to waste flash. There goes the tier 2 in top lane. I would assume Valpo could just kind of keep pushing this and go even farther. Great stun on the Braum. Will get rooted again. Probably not enough damage to really chunk him out, but Valpo wants the tower. They do not care what Braum does. Kali, look at the baby posture to flank, but there is a ward with vision, so can't walk out of the base to do so. And there goes that top inhibitor. Valpo now smartly pulling out. I like that decision to look and push the mid wave in. Drake up in 2 minutes. I think you'd have to probably, if you haven't already, consider this one over. If Purdue can't get this, Drake Way with a flank will land the double ultimate. Jakimbo though goes golden, and now Wukong is on top of everyone. Akali in the back line does get rooted, needs to be taken care of. Super Bear just 1v3 and make it 1v4 at the moment. Not going to be able to find the second. But, you know, everyone's so low at this point. Mord ends up popping there. Will Jakimbo downtown on the Maokai. I think this is it. I don't think Braum and Sivir can hold the line here with the Baron buff. Mr. Hard probably just going to get eliminated. Will flash in. Not able to find Diadem. And Mord walking down the Braum with the flash. Down goes the turret. Nothing happening. Purdue leaving the game early. Not even typing GG's back. Unfortunate. Game number 2, though, going over to Valparaiso in dominant fashion, ending that one 2-0. Cannot complain about that at all if you are a Valpo fan. That was exactly what we were looking for here. You know, game 1 wasn't as dominant and as fast as that one, but 2-0 win. Can't complain. That's a win on the NECC record. And that is it for us here in the booth tonight. No other games, just that one. We'll be back tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. NECC Smash Bros. As we take on Purdue University Northwest. So actually a Northwest Indiana matchup, which is pretty interesting. Could have held that one in person with how close they are, which is pretty cool. When that happens and you're that close to your opponent, sometimes you've never heard of your opponent or it's across the country, but this time like 40 minutes away. So pretty cool. Be here for that. We'll start at 6:30 p.m. CST. Looking ahead forward at the week, Rocket League 6:30 on Wednesday against Bowling Green. Thursday we'll be back with some, or we won't be back with anything actually Thursday, and then Friday we'll have some Overwatch for you. As always, 7 p.m. But that's it for me in the booth. I'm heading out of here. I've been George. That's been Valpo's League of Legends team winning 2-0 over Purdue after this finally got rescheduled. Same result we expected. But yeah, thanks for tuning in with me. Apologize for the stream issues. Hopefully tomorrow or sometime this week we get everything back, get a real transition, and some more photos in the slideshow we use at the beginning to so it's not Coach Bryce 7 times and like two other photos. But that's gonna be it for me. I'm headed out of here. That's it for us on stream tonight. Be here tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Central Time for some Smash Bros. See you later.